Hi there, it's Paige here from the impactcopywriter.com. In this video, I want to show you how to set up a simple email automation in just a few minutes. But before we dive into ActiveCampaign and their visual builder, which is the tool I prefer, I just want to walk you through what this automation is going to look like. So what we're looking at really is a simple email automation that you can use after someone's opted in to a lead magnet, or registered, for example, for your webinar, or they've subscribed to your newsletter, and then you're going to send them like a welcome email series. So you can see here that we have the first step is the lead magnet opt-in. Now, once they input their info and they click the button, that data is automatically sent to the email service provider or the email automation tool that you have connected to that opt-in form. So at that point, they become a new subscriber. They're probably, depending on how you have it set up, they're probably added to a specific list. From there, they might be redirected. Once they've inputted this form, they might be redirected to your thank you page, which is what I recommend. That just gives them that feedback that they have been added. You can add a video to this page to where you can welcome them, thank them for downloading, include some more information, and start building that rapport and that relationship with your new subscriber from the get-go. Now, what also happens is as soon as someone subscribes to that list, it triggers an email automation, which is that they automatically get that delivery email. So that's where you're following up on that promise, and then you're delivering that link or whatever it is that you're delivering that you're promising for that lead magnet. And then from that link, they of course can download your lead magnet or watch a video or do whatever it is that you promised. Now, after your automated delivery email, which goes out right away, then you can start adding additional emails to further the goals you have for your funnel. It could be a welcome series where you're just giving them free content. You're getting them to join your Facebook group. You're building that relationship and kind of helping them get to know you. Or it could be like a webinar promo series where you're pushing a webinar. If you have an impulse low price buy product, then you can use this as a sales sequence. For something that doesn't require a lot of persuasion or a lot of relationship building beforehand, something that's really like at the impulse buy price point, then you can use that and send them to a sales page, for example. So we're not really going to talk about the content of the emails because that really depends on your funnel and what your next goal is. We're going to just talk about the technical side. So how do you set it up? And you can see here that I have 5 emails in this series. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each is separated by a wait 1 day action. So they'll get the delivery email. The system will wait 1 day, then they'll send the next email. It'll wait 1 day, they'll send the next email, and so on until we hit the end of the automation. So that, in a nutshell, is what this simple automation looks like, and it's most common in the situation where someone's opting into something and joining your list. Let me hop on over to ActiveCampaign, show you how to set it up. So this is my ActiveCampaign dashboard. I'm already in the automations tab, which is here. If you hover over, you can see what it's called. It's the third one down from the search bar. Now, from this screen, I'm going to click on New Automation and pop up the Create Automation Wizard. So from here, you can import automation, you can create one from scratch, or you can load automations that ActiveCampaign already has set up for you. I almost always start from scratch. So I'm going to click Continue. So we're not going to start quite yet because I just want you to see what it looks like. So this is the visual layout of the visual builder for your automations. You can add actions here from the plus signs, or you can drag actions from the sidebar here. So it's really simple to drag and drop your email automations. The main things that you need to have for this automation is a trigger. So what triggers this email to start, like what action, this email automation. So when this happens, this automation starts. And then you're going to add your emails and your wait times here. So let's get started. I always build the automation first with just the layout, so the technical aspect, before I add any content, because of course writing your emails takes a bit longer, but you can go ahead and build out the skeleton automation and then go back and add the content later, which is what I'm going to do right now. So our start trigger is when someone subscribes to my list here. I'm specifically going to do the Funnel Tools Master List. And I'm going to run this multiple times just in case they come back to it down the road, that they can still get the follow-up emails. Now I'm going to add emails as placeholders. So the first one is going to be the delivery email. I'm not going to add any template yet. I'm just going to save and exit and go back and do the templates whenever I set up the email content. So for now, I'm just creating placeholders. Email 2. We're going to save and exit, and we're going to repeat this until we have all the emails set up. Email 4. One thing that will save you time when you're setting up email automations is to create a template. So I've done that here. I have different templates for different situations so that you kind of preload all your styling and stuff into the email. It saves you a ton of time. So definitely take just a few minutes to set up your template that you're going to use for like email automations. I'm not sure if I have email 4. So it's email 5. Those are all of my emails here. Now I'm going to go in and add wait times, which is here. There's no wait time between this action and this email because that's going to be automatic. So we're going to wait for 1 day. 1 day is the typical wait time in a funnel automation to where you have a goal at the end. That's because once they've opted into something, they've taken action, they're more likely to take other actions, very soon after that. So you don't want to wait for 20 days or wait for a week before you send them something. You want to send them stuff right away. And it's easy to go in and edit these wait times. So let's double check here. I've got automatic email, wait 1 day between all the emails except for number 5. And then I'm just going to end this automation. And that's it. That's our simple automation. That's the bare bones of what you need to have a funnel automation that works. Now that we have the bare bones, I'm going to show you a few additional things I like to add to my automations that improves kind of segmentation and makes marketing more effective. So the first thing here is adding tags. So because they've downloaded this Funnel Tools Master List, I have certain tags set up. And I use this to send relevant communications later on. So in this case, I might do interested in tools. So if I want to send some kind of promo or special offer or special opportunity to people who are interested or who have downloaded the Funnel Tools Master List or have shown interest in any way in tools, then I can only send it to people who have this tag. Another thing I like to do is subscribe everyone who signs up to one of my resources. I subscribe them to my main list, which is my newsletter list. So anytime I send out a blog post or some new resource, I always send it out first to the newsletter list. That's kind of just the general list that I send everything to if it's relevant before I start doing more segmented kinds of things. So this will happen in a matter of seconds. So as soon as the data comes in, it recognizes that someone has joined this Funnel Tools master list. It'll do all these things in a matter of seconds, then send this delivery email, and then it'll wait for 1 day. Another thing you can do is to really respect your contacts' inbox. So by that, I mean not send them emails in the middle of the night or at inconvenient times. So something I like to do is add a condition, a wait condition. So what I want to do here is I'm going to select date and time, and I'm going to trigger it by the current time in the contact's time zone. So in their time zone, which ActiveCampaign detects based on some technical stuff I don't exactly understand, but it can detect what time zone they're in. So the current time is, let's say I want them to get emails around 9 a.m. Then I can save that. And then so it'll wait for 1 day. It'll wait for a whole 24 hours until the time zone is 9 a.m. And then it will send the next email. So you can add that to each of your, before each of your emails to make sure you're respecting your contact's time and respecting their inbox. Now, I do not add anything like that before the delivery email, and that's because people are expecting that delivery email ASAP. When they download something, they want that resource right now. So that delivery email goes out as soon as the data comes through. So it doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 11 a.m. Whenever they opt in, they automatically get that delivery email. Now, another cool thing you can do is you can add them to another automation. If you're doing if you have several micro funnels, and once they go through this, then they need to go through a separate sequence, then you can send them through a new automation. So let's say I don't have anything set up here, so I'm just going to click something. Let's say you had a webinar promo that after they hit this 5th email, you want to add them to a webinar promo sequence. Then you can send them through that email. You'll add them to that automation, and then you'll end this automation. So that's a really cool way that you can stack automations on top of each other to keep it really manageable and not have this huge 50 email automation. You can also add pathways. So I'm not sure if I can do this yet because I don't have any, let's just say they have opened any campaign or email. Okay, so if they've opened any of these emails, then we can say they're an okay prospect to go through the next automation. So I'm going to drag this up here because that's where it needs to be. And if they haven't opened any of these emails, then we're going to assume that they're really not a good lead and we just don't want to bother them anymore. So they're on the newsletter, but we're not going to send them through any more funnels. We don't want to get marked as spam. So we're just being respectful. They're not a good lead. We're not going to focus any attention on them. So if they haven't opened any of the campaigns in this sequence, then it's no, and we're just going to end this automation. So I'm actually going to go do a go to goal. So it'll just go to another action. So I'm just going to skip that, adding them to another automation. I'm just going to end this automation. You could even unsubscribe them from this list, or unsubscribe them from your marketing emails in general. So it just depends on kind of what angle you want to take with this, but you can define pathways based on how people act once they're in this automation. So if they click the specific link, let's say you were sending them to a sales page and all these emails, if they actually clicked on the sales page link, then you could trigger a different automation. And if they didn't, you could trigger another automation, or you could just not do anything and just end this automation. So these are really cool, more sophisticated features that you can use inside your automations to do really cool stuff. Now, so that brings us to the end of our demo here. So the one thing you want to do is you want to name it. So I'm just going to do demo email automation. You want to name it very clearly based on, what this is. So in this case, I did the Funnel Tools master list, and it was a delivery sequence. So I might do Funnel Tools delivery and promo, depending on what the content of these emails are. So I like to be really clear with what I name things. And then once you're ready, you just go in and you edit your emails. Let me show you what that looks like. So we're going to create a new email. Actually, no. We're going to edit email here. And then I would just choose one of my templates. So I've got a really simple template here. You'll be able to see. See, I've just got some small padding in here, and I've got a really narrow kind of column. So it's just really simple, but it does have some design elements that I don't want to recreate every time. So I'm going to use this design. Subject. You can change all this later. It'll load that, and I'll just go in and I'll start typing and editing my email. So you can also do drag and drop stuff for building your emails, which is really handy. We're not going to go into that, but you can just, once you have the skeleton built out, you can go in and edit the email content. So I'm just going to save and exit that. It'll bring me back to my automation. So the last thing you want to do once all your emails are set up and you've kind of tested your links inside your inbox, and you're sure that everything looks great, all you have to do is make this active. And as soon as someone subscribes to the Funnel Tools Master List, they'll get that automation. It'll trigger that. So as soon as something's active, I like to go in and test it myself. So I'll actually opt into the lead magnet and go through the automation to make sure it's working as it should. So I'm going to remove this since I actually don't want to send anyone through here, even though it's not active. So what I have done for you is you can either go out and build this yourself in ActiveCampaign or in whatever tool you're using. But if you're using ActiveCampaign, I've created a unique share link where you can just load the simple version of this automation into your automations dashboard, and you don't have to go through this process of building it out. You can just load the basic automation and then insert your content, add your trigger option, and you'll be done. And then if you want some additional features that I've showed you, then you can add those, but it gives you a really great starting point. So I'm going to show you how to add it to your ActiveCampaign dashboard really quickly. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to automations. You're going to click new automation here, and you're going to import. Now there's a unique URL that you'll find at the bottom of this video in the small section where it has instructions. It'll be like a website address. You're just going to copy and paste that here and then hit import, and that'll load this directly into your automations dashboard, and then you can go in there and start editing it. And you're ready to go.